It's a movie. Red carpet, the lights going through me. Anytime I arrive, it's the new me. Real diamonds on my neck, that's groovy. Flashing lights. All these things come to me. Dressing price. All my rings got weight. You feel that? You feel that? Hey, you heard that? Classic. It's a movie. Red carpet, the lights going through me. Anytime I arrive, it's the new me. Real diamonds on my neck, that's groovy. Flashing lights. All these things come to me. Dressing price.
Okay, what's up, guys? Not sure who's here right now, but I just thought I would try to do a little live stream because I'm losing my mind a little bit. I tried to stream to a few different places. Let me just make sure it's working. Okay, what's it sound like? Stream to, okay, so yeah, it looks like it's working. So I hope everyone's having a wonderful night. I'm just going to bring the chat over here so I can actually see everything. And right here. Yo, you gotta get ready to go to bed soon, but I thought I would come on live real quick, let you know what's going on, so either you don't get scared or what have you. Okay, so looks like we're live. Looks pretty good, and I've got some chats up here just in case I get any chats, but anywho, so, you know, we moved into this apartment many years ago, and at the time we had to do a lot of work, which, you know, Nick had helped me, my dad had helped me, Carolyn helped me, Darian helped, everybody helped, and having to move two different houses all into this one was a lot, so that's why I'm scared, number one. And number two, it's just like I only have had like a week to plan, so I am not really ready to, you know, end up moving or buying a house, but unfortunately things happen in life that you have to make moves, and I'm still waiting right now. I got this tooth in. If it heals, I've been having an issue where like I get the surgery, then I go back to work, and my schedule is so long, and then the infection just kept coming back. So I had to have two surgeries at the beginning of the year. They weren't working, and at the same time I had also just got the Invisalign. So basically it was a nightmare. So I just had that persistent infection for months. So, you know, I've had to figure that out, and hopefully, you know, I can keep this healing right now. I've got an implant. It's a titanium implant, but it basically, you know, costs a fortune, and, you know, I'm grateful for any help that I can get at this point. But, you know, we have a pretty big family. We have 3 cats. We have a dog. I am almost at the point where I need a whole room for my video equipment, which was another thing that I had tried to get going. It took me like 6 months to get that website up, but I got the website up, and now I'm working so much that, you know, I barely have time to edit a few videos a month, so it's a little bit difficult of a situation, but it looks to be like, you know, it's going to be very challenging. I'm not going to lie, but basically my landlord passed away, and you know, he had promised, you know, that he was grateful for all the work that I did, and, you know, it doesn't really matter at this point, but he had said, you know, you guys can stay here as long as you want. I'm not going to raise your rent again. And then, he did end up raising the rent again, but he did say, you guys stay and you're a great tenant. And unfortunately, my landlord passed away. So, his kids ended up taking over the place. And again, I, had that conversation with him. Whoa, sorry, that was Lulu. What are you doing? She's flying off my computer. So I had the conversation with the kids who took it over that they were going to be doing work in the apartment, and I had told him, I'm not quite ready to buy a house. I am trying to get over, the year that I've had. It's been quite a crazy year, and they had said no problem. So I started helping them with some stuff, and it turns out that they need to remodel this whole house, and basically we can't stay here, which really sucks because I would have been planning for the past 2 months to at least try to do something. So I'm in quite a pickle right now. Fortunately, I do have some little things that I'm working on with the videos. Some of the videos are doing well, but not really able. I put in for a mortgage. Carolyn's gonna try to co-sign with me, but I think my credit and debt situation is at the point where I need to get it down a little bit before I can actually get enough for a house. But I'm at the point where I'm very close. So basically, I'm gonna have to move to Central Falls or Pawtucket, or if I wanna live with my family in one apartment, I basically have to live somewhere where we're all gonna not be safe, or it's gonna be really far from my job. So I'm in quite a pickle, and nevertheless, I don't really expect anyone to be able to help, but unfortunately, I'm in a position where I really don't have a choice right now because I'm kind of boxed in. And if it was a month later, and I might have been able to actually do my taxes, and supposedly I'll be getting taxes back on overtime that I've worked, but I will believe it when I see it at this point, because it'd be nice to be able to get your taxes back, but like I said, I'll believe it when I see it. I just want to make sure I'm not missing any chats or anything. I got quite a bit of different areas here. Okay. Yeah, so I figured I would run this little video here, and just to show you guys some of the work that we've done here. So I know it was pretty, not the best decision to do work on an apartment, but we had to make this place a home, and I appreciate all the help that I got, and in doing that, a lot of that work was me. And my dad was here as much as he could, so much to the point where, I don't even think he wanted to come here anymore because he had been here so many times helping me. But let me show you some of the stuff that we've done here.
It's a movie. Red carpet, the lights going through me. Anytime I arrive, it's the new me. Real diamonds on my neck, that's groovy. Flashing lights. All these things come to me. Dressing price. All my rings got weight. You feel that? You feel that? Hey, you heard that? Classic. It's a movie. Red carpet, the lights going through me. Anytime I arrive, it's the new me. Real diamonds on my neck, that's groovy. Flashing lights. All these things come to me. Dressing price. All my rings got weight. You feel that? You feel that? Hey, you heard that? Classic. It's a movie. Red carpet, the lights going through me. Anytime I arrive, it's the new me. Real diamonds on my neck, that's groovy. flashing lights. All these things come to me, dressing price. All my rings got weight. You feel that? You feel that? Hey, you heard that? Classic. It's a movie. Red carpet, the lights going through me. Anytime I arrive, it's the new me. Real diamonds on my neck, that's groupies. Flashing lights. All these things come to me. Dressing price. All my rings got weight. You feel that? You feel that? Hey, you heard that? Classic. It's a movie. Red carpet, the lights going.
So, yeah, that was some of the work that we were able to do, and, not the smartest thing to do work on a house that you don't own, but I don't regret it because, we were able to make this space, very livable, despite the winters being quite cold and putting plastic on the windows, but luckily for the next people that live there, that'll be fixed, but I probably won't get to enjoy any of that. So pretty much what I'm shooting for is waiting for pre-approval on a loan just to see, what I'm working with. And then, hopefully I'll be able to get maybe a fixer-upper and just improve my skills with repairs a little bit more. I don't mind working on a place, but obviously, I would like the next place that I'm doing endless work on to be actually mine. So, fortunately, last week, Rhode Island actually came out. Excuse me. I'm really feel like I'm losing my mind lately, but Rhode Island, where I live, they have a new program for first-time home buyers, and it allows you to lower the interest rate. And I haven't been able to apply for that yet, but I'm hoping I will be able to, and that'll get me like one step closer. And my guess is we'll get approved for something, and then we will just have to cover whatever cost and realtor fees, and we'll have to move our stuff ourselves, but that's the least of my problems. So I spent the last month down in the basement cleaning because they were cleaning and emptying out the whole house. And I spent like every weekend helping clean and, trying to be a help. And I ended up throwing away a lot of my boxes because, I was like, okay, well, we're going to be staying here. So now I have all this boxes for a lot of this stuff that like I kept for years because, I knew I would be moving eventually, so I kept the boxes to put some of this stuff in so it doesn't break, the camera equipment, the lighting, computer monitors, and everything was getting cleaned, and I thought, it would be a good time to throw it away, and literally like 5 days later, I'm having to move now. So, even if I did have the choice to be able to move somewhere and come back, I don't think I can do that either because it's just literally so much stuff and so many people. We've got 3 cats. We've got my dog, Toby, which I love, but he's a pain in the butt. We got 3 cats. Carolyn's mom, our child Darian, who, just got used to where he moved. He's in high school, getting his license, and very smart, very sweet boy. And I really would like to stay in Cranston, so he can get a bus for his last, 2 years of high school, because he's in a technical school. So there's a lot of moving parts here. And some of them I can't even think about right now, but had I had the ability to foresee some of this, I would have done things a lot differently. I certainly wouldn't have gotten the Invisalign. I would have just, I was convinced there was something wrong with my tooth. I had an abscess, And I went there and they told me everything was fine, but they told me that the crown is getting damaged because of my bite, so the braces are going to help. And then I didn't even get the braces on yet. I went into the dentist and they were like, we can't put these on because your gum's infected. And I'm like, what? That's the reason I came to the dentist in the first place. So, $2,300. Then the next surgery, another $900 plus a week and a half out of work. Then that surgery didn't work. So then I had to have an extraction. And then I had to have the extraction. Then that had to heal. And then now I've had to have the implant. And then now I've been waiting like 6 months for the implant because the high stress level that I'm under, between everything, it's like my body's not healing. Um, so hopefully I'm through the tail end on that. But the last thing I want to do is get on a stream and ask people to donate. Honestly, I just really don't want to, but I'm scared for my family. And I was at the point where like I was almost there, and it's like I'm sitting on the edge there, like almost there, and uh, it's a it's a complicated balancing act to get everything right. But I've kind of learning to ease back a little bit. But yeah, basically, I'm gonna do my best to not stress out. I really don't like that flickering there. But I haven't gotten a haircut. I just like see no point in doing these things when I don't know, you know, where I'm gonna live in the next month or whatever. So, I'm kind of a little flustered, you would say. But um, I gotta keep pushing forward, keep trying to be optimistic, and I literally am so close to being like where I need to be, and getting ahead of this and moving on with my life is going to be very important. And the way that that happens is, I don't want to say it's going to make or break me, but this is go time. I'm not stopping the photo and video. I can do great work. I just have, unfortunately, I've bought enough gear for a two-person team at least and a full production studio. And it just so happens, that it's been really tough to get that together, to get clients. And, I have some proof of work. So I did the website and I'm working on it. So I'm not giving up on that. And I have, the Amazon. I'm working on doing videos for Amazon. My product videos are listed on Amazon. I'm very proud of that. Really proud of the work that I've done. I'm fixing our cars. I fixed my girlfriend's shocks and struts last week. I did my brakes in my Honda CRV. So, I'm very proud of myself, but I've had quite a few setbacks, and a lot of them can be my own fault, especially when I can be impulsive, and if I have a client, I think I have to buy something, and sometimes you really shouldn't. I mean, most of the time you shouldn't. So, there's been a lot of decisions like that definitely would have helped me along, but it's not always so cut and dry, but I will say I am optimistic, but, I can't move with no notice when I'm on a 2-year plan to get out of debt and to be able to buy a house and get married, and then all of a sudden it turns to a 3-week plan, and I don't know where I'm going to go after that. So um, I am scared. I really am. But I am optimistic. I always try to be optimistic, but it's just everything at once is just too much. And I don't mind working. I work at my job. I come home. I work on my videos. I work on trying to, make money. And thank God I have Carolyn. But I don't have many friends or many people I share my hobbies with, which I would like. And I would like to get there, but a lot of the times, like, I can't do fun things because in the back of my mind, I have all these things that I have to do. So, I don't want to rain on anyone's parade, but like, I gotta hustle, and I've gotta, change my life, and I've done a lot to change my life, but I'm not talking about perfection or being down on myself, but I've got to change it. I've got to get out of this cycle, and I'm knocking at the door there, but I might have to beat down the door, but I'm hoping that I'm gonna get there. And then once I get a little money saved, and I can figure out this move, then then I can actually take a different job with a little less hours or a different position if I end up getting it. But I've been applying to like 3 or 4 places a week, not because my job is, bad. It's just the hours are tough. The drive from here to my job was tough. And then I drive to Boston, and then I drive back here. So it's literally just beating me down. And I just, I couldn't take it. I couldn't heal from my surgery. It's like, even if I took a week off, then went back, the infection would come back. And, I'm going on like 4 hours, 5 hours of sleep a night, and then working 14 hours, and then driving an hour home. And I'm telling you, I'm feeling myself like literally like get to my limits. I turned down the volume too, so hopefully you can hear me. I know I don't really do stuff like this often, but man, not really quite sure what to do at the moment. But a little bit of hard work, a little bit of praying, and if any of you guys, I don't want anyone donating to me that doesn't have money. Obviously I know what it's like to be on a tight budget, and I don't even want to ask anyone for money, but I really don't. But unfortunately, I'm at a place where like I don't know what I'm gonna do, and I don't have much time or any time to figure it out. They're gonna come tomorrow and shut off the power because they're doing electric work, and nobody told me until yesterday. So Carolyn's supposed to be working on the computer here tomorrow, and there's gonna be no power in the house, and it's just a lot of stress to take on when you're already at the point where you're like, I can't take any more. It's just, oh yeah, here's some more for you, buddy. So I'm gonna keep going, and I've gotta get into bed now. But I thought I would possibly live stream, and unfortunately have to humble myself and let you all know that my life's not perfect. All right. And when you post videos online, a lot of people think your life is perfect. Social media is one of those things, and God, I'm very grateful for everything good I have in my life. We pray every night, and I pray for all the people that I love and care about, even the people that I don't talk to anymore. I pray for every day, and I pray for the world in general, because I know I'm not the only one struggling. I see what's going on in the world every day. I'm out there, I'm in the city, and people are asking me, for help, and me for money. And I try to help people when I can, but I'm in quite a predicament now where um, I'm not much of help to anybody if I don't, get up out of this little mess I'm in. So, like I said, I'm hopeful, but I am depressed. I am quite depressed because this is just it's not like just moving. It's just been like the year and a half, just like looking at everything go to worse and worse and worse and worse, and it's like it's hard. I know it's hard for everybody because of the economic situation and you know interest rates, but luckily for Rhode Islanders, they do have that first-time home buyers thing, and yeah, it's not the first time I've been sad in my life. I just usually when I'm with people, I don't want to be a bummer, but unfortunately, I don't have any way of expressing it and letting it out. So maybe this will do a little bit for me here. So, like I said, I don't want anyone donating that doesn't have money, but just on the off chance that somebody sees this that might have something, anything is really gonna help. Basically, what I'm trying to do is sell stuff, get some of my debt to credit ratio down. I think I only need like 3%, and I should be golden, for my credit. I haven't missed any payments, and um, last year, I had bought a couch from Jordan's Furniture, and I made all my payments, and their system changed to like another bank, like bought out their loans, and I had called them 3 times and told them like I can't get into my account, and I made a payment, and they said, oh, don't worry about it, and I'm like, okay, well, I made the payment, but it's not reflecting. Oh, they say, oh, don't worry about it, it's just switching over in the system. I called 3 times total, and it was like almost 2 months, and then all of a sudden, I call them and I start freaking out because I'm like, this is getting close to like 90 days, and you're reporting my account delinquent, and I paid it. Sure as you know it, I get a notification, my credit, I've got a delinquent notice on my credit, and I'm like, oh my God, like my credit was already kind of taking a hit there, and then I get one credit card, cut my rate in half. That weekend, it took 2 days. On Monday, I called them and I freaked out and told them like, this is horrible that you did this, blah 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 blah, and they said, okay, we're gonna fix it, and then they took it off my credit report. It took me a few days to get it off. Then I finally get it off, and then the next day, the first credit card cut my rate from like 10,000 to 4,000, and I'm like, oh God, well at least I caught it, right? And then the next day, then there's another one, and 2 of my cards cut it right in half. Chase Bank and Capital One. Literally 2-3 days after I had one missed payment, and it wasn't even real. So like my credit got ruined, and it's like laughable because I've never missed a payment in my whole life, and my credit got ruined because of Jordan's Furniture or whatever system they were using. So my debt to credit ratio, I shouldn't have let it get so high anyways, but it's just like, God damn, man, I gotta catch a break somewhere, man. But I do believe in the power of good, and I believe in the power of positive thinking, and I believe in hard work. I believe in honesty and integrity, and I always have. It's just people try to convince you that trying to be a good person is lame, or that you'll never get anywhere in business if you are honest with people, or that's not how businesses work. But I want to prove people wrong. and I want to do things the way that I think is the right way. And I'm not telling you, like, I'm not telling myself like I can't make money, but you know, I need to learn what to tell people and what not to tell people, because sometimes I just, I say too much, and then they, like, I don't know, maybe they're like, oh, he's crazy. Why is he telling me all this stuff? But, I'm trying to be honest with people. And one thing I've learned is definitely don't tell people, you're struggling. But unfortunately, I didn't really have a choice right now. But, especially if you're trying to start a business, if, even if you have everything, you can do the job, you're working with a client, you tell them you're having a tough time, it's like, they're like, they don't even want to work with you anymore. And it's like, so I've learned, I'll be honest with people, and, I'm just not going to go overboard, over explaining, because I could see the glaze in people's eyes when I tell them I'm trying to start a business and it's hard. And they're like, oh, I must not be good. But sometimes when you're working one or two jobs already and trying to start your own business, it's not easy, But like I said, I'm not stopping. I made the website, gpphotovideo.com. I'm still doing YouTube. It's still growing. I'm still doing Amazon. It's still growing. I'm doing photo. I'm doing video. I'm helping people with that as much as I possibly can. Everything I'm doing is trying to help myself, my family, and the people that I love and care about. And, that makes me feel good, and I want to keep going. And I have, a lot of love in my life. A lot of love in my life. It's my baby Camilla. So Camilla, are you ready? She's been a little upset ever since we got the dog, and she had they all got some gunky stuff in their ears, and I've been cleaning their ears like crazy, but I just found some stuff for her so that I can brush her coat so it's not so matted, and I think she'll be happier, huh? Say hi, Camilla. We gotta go. Say hi. You smell good. You smell good, baby. Who gave you a bath? I didn't give her a bath when I brushed her. Oh, you smell like a little fruit. You smell like a little fruit, huh? Look, you gotta say hi to the camera right there. You gotta say hi to the camera. Hi. Say hi. I'm Camilla. Hi. Very spoiled, I like that new smell, though. I'll tell you, it's very nice. All right, guys, I'm gonna go. I really appreciate anyone stopping by, listening. I know you guys don't have money either, but I figured I would give it a shot. And God bless you all. Hopefully, you see me on the other end of this, and I haven't succumbed to depression or stressing myself into a panic. But appreciate all the love and support, guys. I'll see you later.